Hello everyone, welcome back to Kirklees Guitar School. In today's acoustic guitar lesson, I'm going to teach you a strummers version for Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. If you head to the first link in the description, there's a full free PDF that you can download from the first link. This will take you to my website where you can download the tabs that go along with this, along with 100 other lessons completely for free. There's a couple of intricate rhythms in this that I feel having it in front of you while I'm delivering the lesson is really going to help you, so I encourage you to go and check that out and print it off if you're able to. If you like the way that I teach and you'd like to see a little bit more of me, I'd urge you to check out the second link in the description for the Kirklees Guitar School Academy. The Kirklees Guitar School Academy is my membership platform where every song I deliver here on YouTube, you get access to additional resources such as a full guided playthrough with scrolling tabs on screen, and a technical focus lesson that's song specific, which takes one niche part of the song and goes into a little bit more detail to help you get it across the line. In addition to that, there's 100 other lessons that are not available anywhere else that are wrapped up in courses and other bits of media that the Academy members have been ploughing through and enjoying over there. You can try that with a 14-day free trial from the second link in the description. I'd urge you to check it out. Right, so let me put the chords on screen for you first, because this is going to divide opinion as this lesson, and we don't mind, that's okay. I've already delivered this lesson before where I've taught you the... He says. I've taught you all the twiddly bits, right? And a little bit of the lead stuff. Now the main complaint for this song is I wish I could just have the chords to work on first before starting to put all the lead bits in. That's what this lesson is. If you're looking for all the lead parts, I've done another lesson which I'll link in the description down below and I'll put a card up. If you want to learn all that, check my lesson out from about 18 months ago on that. This is strictly rhythm. We're just talking about the rhythm guitar parts. And if you're relatively new to the guitar or you're looking for an easy strum, this is the version, okay? So I hope that I've cleared that up for you. Here are the chords that we're working on today. Now we've got this, the technical focus in the Academy for this lesson is kind of all based around these chords here with the ring finger and the pinky on the 3rd fret of the B string and the high E string, and why people decide to do that. It's a really common thing in sort of like more acoustic kind of folky type stuff, and it gives it this consistent sort of like drone over the top of everything, which I think in the beginning of this song definitely helps. Now we've got with two sort of main sections of the song, what I've dubbed the A section, which is the part, and then the B section where it goes to a C chord, and that's where the vocals come in. We're going to look at both in detail today and see how it fits with all this, but these are the chords that we're using today. Now we're going to start with these three fellas here, the E minor 7, the G and the A7 sus4. For the purposes of today's lesson, I'm just going to be calling them E minor, G and A, just because these are the chords' Sunday names. I'm just thinking of them as a spicy E minor and a spicy A chord. So I hope you can get on with that. Right, we're going to start. There's like a little bit of a... there's a little bit on the album. I'm going off the album version. There's like a little bit of a sort of dialogue or something that kind of happens. And then you'll hear somebody... It's almost like somebody presses a tape recorder. And then this lead-in is referring to... So you're going to let the other guitarist play those 4 notes. As they hit that note, we're going to play E minor 7. And we're essentially joining them because this melody weaves in and out of the rhythm part, okay? So we're going to let the guys that know what they're doing do that first. We're going to jump in here on this E minor. And we're going to go down, down, up, up, down. Down, down, up, up, down. If you're struggling with rhythms, there's no shame in putting your guitar on your knee. Can you tap that rhythm? Because if you can't hear the rhythm in your head, you're going to really struggle to do it this way. Down, down, up, up, down. Try that for me at home. Let me know down below if you've had any success with that. I think if I can hear a rhythm and I know what it's supposed to sound like, it really does help me get it across the line. So down, 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 up, up, down. So if you need to split it up into chunks, get a pencil if you've printed the PDF off, get the first 3 notes. and then put the second 3 in. Whatever you've got to do to chop it up to make it fit. Down, 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 up, up, down. We're then going to change to a G chord over here and do exactly the same thing. Pause the video and glue those 2 chords together for me. If you've got that under your fingers, you'll be pleased to know that it just carries on in a similar vein. Bearing in mind we've done E minor and G already, but then we've got E minor again to G. Same rhythm. Then we're going to go E minor. Now A7 sus4, or A7, take your E minor chord, take these 2 fellas, you're leaving these 2 where they are, take these 2, move them down a string. So you're going from the 2nd fret of the A and the D strings to the 2nd fret of the D and the G strings. We don't play the low E string. And it's got this lovely kind of like open ethereal sound. We keep going with the same rhythm. Instead of going E minor to G, we're going E minor, and you're scutching it all down to A. Bottom line, E minor, A, and then we go to G. Those of you at the back that are feeling like there's a little bit more at the end of these bars, you can add like a little semi-quaver flick at the very end of the bars if you want to, and if you can make that fit, by all means please do, but I need you to remember that this is a beginner's focused lesson, and I'm sort of purposely leaving plenty of time after this last stroke to give everybody chances for the fingers to catch up. Okay? Right then, where are we? And this continues on. From this point, you'll hear that little lead part that I can't remember off the top of my head now. You know where it starts, it's the little lead guitar part. All that stuff comes in here. And it's pretty much just repeating what we've done so far. E to G. E to G. Bottom line. E to A. And then G to finish. Now notice that there's 5 bars in the bottom line. We finish with 2 bars of G the first time round, but then once the lead guitar part comes in, it only puts 1 bar of G in. And that's kind of, proggy stuff kind of does this. They start pushing and playing with stuff which doesn't make sense immediately, but sounds really good in the song, so who am I to argue? So from that point, we're then going to enter what I call the B section. Now, we've just tackled the one of the 2 sections, which is what we're dubbing the A section. Now, there's never any vocals over that. Whenever they're singing, it's a B section, and what I'm going to show you is it's literally this pattern just repeated round and round and round, but the strumming pattern does change, so take heed. So you think you can tell heaven from hell, etc. So you've got down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. So can you see that this bar and all the concurrent bars it's the same pattern repeated twice. So let's worry about the first 4 notes in this bar. You've got a downstroke, followed by a quick down and an up using what we call semi-quavers. They're quite fast to those ones. And then you're going to tag a quaver, which lasts for half a beat, onto the end of it. So again, let's get his drum back out. Yeah? With your C chord. Down, down, up, down. And we're essentially going to repeat that twice. Those of you that feel up to the challenge, if you want to put a C over G in there, I'm pretty sure I can hear that G on the record, but you can put that in if you're looking for something to just, if you're looking for extracurricular activities. And that's going to continue for the D chord. D, down, up, down, 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 up, down, A minor. And that resolves to G. D, same pattern, a cold steel rail. A minor, G. Now you're going to see there's a repeat marker down here. So this funny looking bracket's called a repeat marker. And what that means is you need to go all the way back to the start of the B section and you play that whole B section again. So far we've played everything on the first page and the first line of the second page, hit the repeat marker and gone back to the B section. So now it's just purely a formatting thing. You've got all the parts, it's just learn, because I think it's something like 5.5 minutes long is this song. It's quite a long song. So we've just played as B section and all those bits, hit the repeat marker and had to go back to the B section. And then on page 2 we're going to hit the A section. This is a lot more succinct is this. You can see it sort of fits into this slide really nicely. We're going back to the original rhythm. And we know that it's that because you'll hear that pattern. We then go to the B section again, no repeat markers this time, we just play it once, and then continuing on from there we go back to the A section. So essentially this PDF's quite long. What is it, 3 pages? You're essentially just going to bat between the A and the B section until you run out of runway, and it does that lovely fade out, and there's like some sort of like wind noises or some sort of there's some sort of extra sound effects put over the top of it. I like this song because it introduces the idea of these chords that have the pedal on the top, which have these notes that are the same through all the chord shapes. But there's 2 strumming patterns that on the face of it look quite difficult, but actually once you get them under your fingers, it's a real confidence boost for a student, and that's why I prefer to teach it this way. Like I said again, if you're looking for a bolt-on lesson to this and somewhere to go next, I'd either check out the Academy, where I talk about these chords in a little bit more detail along with loads of other stuff. There's sort of loads of Pink Floyd stuff up there at the minute that you can check out. Alternatively, if you want to stay on YouTube, I've done another lesson teaching all the twiddly bits, and I'd urge you to go there next. What Pink Floyd lesson do you think I should cover next? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you next week for another acoustic guitar lesson. Thank you so much for watching.